India is one of the fastest growing economies and now ranks as the fourth largest economy of the world. One of the key drivers of our economy is the rail transportation network. Indian Railways is one of the largest rail networks in the world under single management. The rapid economic growth, averaging at 8.45% per annum for the last 10 years, has put huge demand on existing rail infrastructure. The core growth of Indian economy, like power, coal mining, steel, cement production, fertilizer and petroleum, have great dependence on railways. And in consonance, Railways has set a target of 1,850 million tons of freight in its 2020 vision document. To supplement the rapid development, Railways have identified its high-density freight routes of Golden Quadrilateral and its diagonals for line capacity enhancement. The Golden Quadrilateral and its diagonals, which are just 16% of rail network, carry 58% of total freight traffic.
The cheapest and the most environmentally friendly mode of transportation is the railway transportation, and this today has been recognized all over the world. So there is in fact resurgence in rail transport today all over the world, and so in India also we thought that we must have a corridor which gives impetus to the national economy, and that can only be done if we improve our freight traffic flows.
A momentous decision was taken by the Government of India in 2005 to segregate the freight and passenger business and to construct dedicated freight corridors for movement of freight trains. In the year 2006, Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India Limited (DFCCIL) was established and registered as a special purpose vehicle under the Companies Act 1957. The DFC project is a unique project. It has achieved landmarks at every level of planning, engineering, design and technology.
In the first phase, we are constructing two corridors, eastern and western. Total length is about over 3,300 kilometers. About 75% of the alignment of these corridors runs parallel to the existing track. So in addition to utilizing the existing railway land, we are also acquiring over 10,000 hectares of additional land, which is covering 9 states, 60 districts, over 2,000 villages and more than 1 lakh project affected people. This is a very mammoth task. With the blessings of the Prime Minister's Office, the Ministry of Railway and the wholehearted cooperation from the state governments, we have been able to make a very big headway in the land acquisition without major hiccups, and we hope to complete the process very soon.
In the first phase of this mega project, DFCCIL has taken up 2 corridors at an estimated cost of 88,000 crore rupees. The prime objectives for building these dedicated freight corridors are to create additional rail infrastructure to cater to increased transport demand as well as to reduce unit cost of transportation. DFC will provide seamless end-to-end solution to the customers and segregate freight infrastructure for focused approach on both passenger and freight business of railways. The Eastern Corridor has a route length of 1,839 kilometers and stretches from Ludhiana in Punjab to Dankuni in West Bengal. The Eastern Corridor will cater to the enhanced movement of coal to power plants, steel, petroleum, fertilizer and food grains, etc. The Western Corridor is from JNPT in Mumbai to Dadri in Uttar Pradesh, covering a distance of 1,500 kilometers. The Western Corridor will cater to India's strategy of transformation to a global export hub. The Western Corridor will also help in domestic movement of industrial production from Western India to the northern part of the country through containers.
Today we are moving our freight traffic on the same corridors as we are moving our passenger traffic. So there's mixed traffic, and that slows down the freight traffic to a considerable extent because the passenger traffic has to be given precedence and freight trains have to wait and line capacity constraints are there. With the creation of these double line electrified freight corridors, there would be a huge impetus for freight traffic to flow independently, unhindered. Freight train speeds are averaging about 25 to 30 kilometers per hour. The freight corridors are likely to increase this average speed to above 50 kilometers per hour, maybe going up to 70 kilometers per hour. This is expected to give a very, very big boost to the national economy.
To accrue the benefits of DFC, the Government of India has started the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor Corporation of India, which will industrialize the area along the western DFC and bring in $100 billion investment to the region. The preliminary engineering and traffic survey for 4 more corridors in the next phase has also begun and is likely to be completed within 2 years. To augment the future development of next-generation infrastructure, DFC is one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects being undertaken by railways since independence. DFC uses some of the most technologically innovative methods to achieve its futuristic goals.
We are creating a pan-India national network. This is not a contemporary project, rather a futuristic one. We are trying many new things and unique things on this project. The track design is being done to take heavy axle load of 32.5. We are planning a heavy haul operation. We are importing a lot of new technology into the system to make it a world-class infrastructure. Our maintenance strategy will be based on the philosophy of preventive and predictive maintenance. We are adopting a different contracting strategy on this project, and that is design, build and lump sum as against the existing item rate contract being adopted on the Indian Railway. The double stack container operation on an electrified route will be possibly for the first time in the world and will be a unique thing on this project. So therefore there are a whole lot of challenges pertaining to the kind of operation systems which we will be having and the kind of technology which we are importing.
DFC is the pioneer in operation of double-stack containers on electrified routes. Dedicated Freight Corridor envisages electric double-stack long-haul operation with trailing loads of 15,000 tons and container capacity of 400 per train, which will be a first in the world. The axle load has been increased to 32.5 tons. DFC will be a high-speed freight corridor, increasing the maximum speed from 75 at present to 100 kilometers per hour. For the first time in railway history, the mobile radio communication and GSM-based tracking of trains will be used. All these features make it one of the safest rail systems in our country. With an efficient, cost-effective and lean organization, DFC will reduce the operation cost to half as compared to the present railway system. The eastern and the western freight corridors pass through 9 states, 60 districts and 2,500 villages. Availability of land holds the key for faster construction of dedicated freight corridors. DFC will use about 6,000 hectares of available railway land and acquire 10,750 hectares of land. Further, the main cities and towns have been bypassed to avoid any inconvenience to the population due to land acquisition and other issues. Apart from compensation, the rehabilitation package offered by DFC is unique in a way that it provides for the cost of resettlement and rebuilding of assets of affected people. The DFC had undertaken a detailed study on greenhouse emission to develop a long-term low-carbon roadmap which will enable DFC to generate lower carbon footprint and also adopt more energy-efficient and carbon-friendly technologies, processes and practices. The DFC project has followed green guidelines to the maximum possible extent and has used technologies which save energy and resources as much as possible. The flow of uninterrupted finance is the key for this kind of mega project.
The project, the DFC project, is very important for helping India to get its act together for infrastructure to help sustain and to accelerate economic growth. This project connect the north, the west and the east, will connect the industries with raw materials and commodities, and by doing so it will improve the transport system, it will lower transport costs. The bank is very happy to assist with that. It will have enormous environmental benefits as well. It will take off cargo goods from the roads to the rails. So environmental benefits are there, clearly.
The DFCC has made foolproof arrangements for timely and uninterrupted flow of finance, as the Eastern Corridor is financed by World Bank and the entire funding for Western DFC is provided by Japan, JICA. The World Bank has agreed to provide a long-term loan of $2.725 billion for the 1,190 km long Ludhiana-Mughalsarai section, and the loan agreement for $975 million for the 343 km long Khurja-Kanpur section has been signed in October 2011. The JICA is providing a loan of 679 billion yen for construction of the entire Western Dedicated Freight Corridor.
JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency, is supporting the Western Corridor from Delhi down to Mumbai, about 1,500 kilometers. In Japan, we have a large corridor from Tokyo to Osaka, but this is about 500 kilometers only. DFC, East Corridor and Western Corridor, will be the backbone of the Indian economy. We are inviting Japanese private sectors to make more investment along this corridor.
The DFCC project is likely to be a key driver of Indian economy and a game-changer project. The DFC project will reduce the transit time to 1/3 and will bring new state-of-the-art terminals for improved customer service. The target for completion of both Eastern and Western Corridor is 2016-2017. DFC will become an important lifeline to our economic growth. DFC, building the nation. DFC, carrying India to a higher growth path.